Hello comrades, yes it's me, a Yorkshireman, now living in Wales. Power to the people. So comrades, I hope everybody's okay and you're coping with what's going on in life. Anyway, I'm going to have a look at Sustrans. Yes, that charity we all love to talk about. And I'm having a closer look at them these days because for some reason there's something not quite right about it all. Anyway, I then came across this cycling and walking and cycling index by Sustrans, and it says here, as you can see, helping people through the cost of living crisis and growing our economy. Wow, I mean that's so nice, isn't it? Helping people through the cost of living crisis. And also they're going to grow the economy. Well, I never saw that one coming. So this document is dated October 2022. So I then go into the document and start looking because I want to know how they're going to help us. And I come across this now. First word I see is cost of living crisis. And then they say it's an opportunity for the government to reshape how we travel. Oh, sorry, we're on reshape. So their opportunity to helping people is to reshape how we travel. But well, that's not going to help me with my cost of living. Anyway, also they go on to say it will benefit millions of people now for the future, helping to tackle our carbon emissions, climate and health crisis. Whoa, we're on, steady on here. Carbon emissions, climate and health crisis, well, climate emissions and carbon emissions and climate, they're the things which have caused all my utility bills to go up, my food prices to go up and everything else to be a nightmare. Every single thing I want to do because I'm paying that hidden tax. Now the health crisis, I'm not sure how they work that out. Now, I do have an insight into this because when you just start being active, that helps things. Might it's as simple as that. Is that because everybody walks and cycle when they want to? Yes, it is. But, let me go back. They say they're helping people through the cost of living. Now, if they wanted to help people, what they'd do is stop taking like hundreds of millions of pounds of public money and give that back to the public sectors like the councils and everybody else, who literally would then be able to carry on and help us. Because if you work for the council, let me phrase it like this, you're a shareholder because you pay all your taxes like I do. If you work for there and I am also a shareholder, we're both shareholders in councils or governments or any public bodies. Right now I know that's how I'm going to phrase it because I think that's better. But what's happening to you, and in Gwynedd Council in particular, they're getting all the shareholders, as in people who work there, to start filling forms in about the carbon footprint. Now that distracts and takes away their hours of the day from doing other stuff like, let's just say, planning, because there's a backlog for planning, in addition to that maintaining the roads and doing other things which are really important. For me, the shareholder, because I fund it all, as the shareholders working in the council also fund it all. Right, so I think you need, in these councils, you need to say, well I'm sorry, I need to do my core job. But according to Sustrans, they're helping us by tackle our carbon emissions, climate and health crisis. Well I'm sorry, no. Now also I didn't know that Sustrans had an interest in healthcare. See, you learn something new every day. Anyway, the interesting thing is then go on to say boost economic growth. Economic growth is an economic term, and that means you will make things better. You will create wealth somehow, tangible, touchable wealth. Yes. So you will increase savings, you will increase investment, and I can look at it and touch it. That's what that actually means, and you can look it up and decide yourself. I then look at this document and I go even further into it, and it then goes an economic benefit. Now an economic benefit is different again. Those are non-tangible things we can't really truly measure. So in one document they're using both words, which really sort of confusing. Now the other thing they also do is they go on to say that their index in 2021 of walking, wheeling and cycling created 6.5 billion in economic benefit. Now the problem I have there is to put a pound sign in it. So that means it's got a monetary value to it, nothing else. So they're saying that they create 6.5 billion for individuals. Well, I've looked in my bank account and I can't see anything from them in my bank account. Now, they also go on to say for the whole UK, it equates to an overall annual benefit, so that's yearly benefit, year in, year out, £36.5 billion. That's amazing. Again, they put a pound sign in it. Now, is this growth or is this benefit or is this them getting confused? Anyway, at that point, I thought, well, that's a right return. So maybe Sustrans are the best investment company in the world. because that actually equals, and I asked the machine to this, return on investment, and they get about £100 million on average from us, if not more, if not less. So I'm doing an average game, so I've worked out £120 million within a year to turn that into £36.5 billion, because that's what they're saying there, is a 30,000% increase. That's unbelievable. At that point I thought, well, I wonder what economic modelling they use, because in this paper they say they use this economic modelling, and it's here. And it goes, modelling economic benefit is broken down as follows. Right, okay. Now, you can read that yourself, but I go down and I wanted to see the methodology. And the methodology they use is this Copenhagen bicycle account. Never heard of it, but I thought I'd have a look at it using the magic of the internet. So at this point, I then found the model, and I got AI involved. Now, AI is good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. But use your gut instinct, a bit of common sense, you can say, does this seem right? Anyway, so I asked it to then apply the model to see what economic benefit it gets out. So it says here, Copenhagen cycling infrastructure delivers an annual social economic return of 25 to 29%. Fair enough. Total investment of £110 million. Then over 20-year horizon. Right, so it goes from 2005 to 2025, and it kicks out the figure, which actually is only 1.5 to £2 billion. Huh, now that's a lot less. But again, Copenhagen has a smaller population, Copenhagen should I say. So at that point I said, can you do it nationwide? And it did. So the machine says in Denmark there's about 6 million people. It then goes through the same calculation, and it then says the total, this is over 20 years again, is 3.4 to 4.5 billion. Huh, right, and the word they use is social economic benefits over 20 years. Now, no way is this anything like what Sustrans are saying. So there's something clearly going on here. At this point, I then applied it to the UK. UK population, as you can see, 67 million people. It goes through the same number crunching, and it says over 20 years, right, it then says the social economic benefits are about 28 to 33 billion pounds. This is over 20 years. But the UK and even Active Travel England, for some reason, have the same figure as Sustrans, say it's 36 billion pounds annually. Now, if you're using the methodology which Sustrans say they are, which I've just used, they should know that's wrong, so it doesn't add up. Anyway, being a Yorkshireman from Wales, I then applied it to Wales. And as you can see, over 20 years, it comes up with 1.5 billion in benefits. Now that makes far more sense, doesn't it? Because if you remember, when I applied it to Denmark itself, that was between 3.4 to 4.5 billion pounds, but that's got more population. So it sort of like says to me the model sort of works. Now, remember, this is a model I use. So what have I learned from this? Well, I've learned that when we're looking at when any charity says they're helping people through the cost of living and growing our economy, that might be slightly misleading. And their version of helping us doesn't really meet my version of helping people. Now, the other thing which I'm still not happy about is they see the cost of living crisis as an opportunity. They don't see it something which should be dealt with swiftly and people should be helped. No, they see it as an opportunity. So I'm not happy about that. I'm also not happy about the say that they are annually benefiting the UK economy £36.5 billion. Now, even if you're doing that, like I'm going to call the soft benefits, I'm going to say that doesn't add up, because I've applied exactly the same model, and guess what? It doesn't work. Right, comrades, thank you for watching today, listening and the rest of it, and staying awake. Please tick subscribe and the rest of it, and I will catch you on the other side. Thank you.